Well, this is gonna go over well. And I think you can tell by the way I'm talking and the voice that I'm using just how draining it has been to be a Vancouver Canucks fan this year. You know, I was debating whether or not to make a commentary about the state of Canucks fandom at the moment, and how, partly, the biggest symptom of this is my declining YouTube views. Now, to be clear, I'm not blaming anybody for that, but I do think that the views on this YouTube channel going down is more so a symptom of Canucks fans just being checked out of it. Fans don't want to listen to commentaries about how the team is bad, and how players should get traded, and how the time is coming for things to change massively. Last year, we had a lot of views on this YouTube channel. You know why? Aside whatever subjective opinions you may have as to the quality of these videos being better or worse, the fact is, last year, Canucks fans were on board. They could not stop eating this team up. JT Miller scored 100 points. Thatcher Demko was a Vezina caliber guy. Quinn Hughes won the gosh darn Norris, and Rick Tocchet was the coach of the year. Last year it was so great, and Canucks fans were eating it all up, which reflected in the social media engagement and the YouTube views for these videos. I bet you, willing to bet you, that it's not even just my YouTube channel where the views for Canucks videos are a lot lower compared to last year. I'm sure if you head over to some of the other Canucks pages and Canucks-related articles and stuff, you will find better results last year when the team was so much better and fans were just more excited about the team. Now, because everything's all doom and gloom and because it's all going down the drain, I mean, fans have started to check out, and that's unfortunate. It's not the first time this would have happened. All those other years where the Vancouver Canucks did not make the playoffs, this always happens. Like, views go down on Canucks-related topics towards the end of the season, and then by the draft and free agency, it starts to pick up again. That's kind of how the cycle of this thing works. I've been doing this for quite a few years now, full-time, so I kind of get a feel for these things. But I think now, this is one of these topics that we need to... I just gotta nip this in the bud now. Because today we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks coaching staff and one Rick Tocchet. Because a few days ago, we made a video talking about Thomas Drance's update in regards to Rick Tocchet and how it seems like the Vancouver Canucks were on their way to potentially re-signing the guy and bringing him back for next season. Okay, awesome. However, earlier this morning on 32 Thoughts, the podcast, Elliotte Friedman dropped a bomb that I think is really going to change folks' opinions as to how this situation is going to continue. 32 Thoughts podcast earlier this morning. The Canucks made an offer that was rejected by Tocchet. If they make another offer, it's into a price range that the Canucks haven't paid for a coach in some time. Friedman can't see the Canucks holding Tocchet to the one-year option they have if they disagree on direction. This post made by Admirable Fall 4675 goes out there and transcribes the Friedman comments. To me, it comes down to, do you get a new deal or not? And some of that is going to be term and finances. And, you know, like if they want to extend talk, it's they're going to go into a bigger number than they've paid a coach in quite some time. And how do the Canucks feel about that? I think that's going to be as much the decision for Vancouver as it's going to be with anything else. But I just don't know when they're going to sit down and discuss it. Because even though the math is not good, I'm not sure that he's going to want to do it while there's still a chance. I guess that's what an agent's for. And top comment goes out there and says this: it seems more and more likely that Rick Tocchet is going to leave and go somewhere else. I'm fine with it, honestly. I don't think his system works, and if it does, the hockey is boring as hell. I don't know how many dump and chase and grind leading to 4 shots a period games I can take. The crappy power play is also on him. It's funny, another reply says, the possibility of getting dumped by a coach would be a novel Canucks hockey experience for me. Would this be the first time a coach has walked away from a contract renewal? It seems quite rare. They all seem to get fired. The last resignation I recall was Paul Maurice leaving Winnipeg. And so, with Rick Tocchet rejecting the Vancouver Canucks and their whatever contract offer they gave to him, it does start to get the ball rolling as to where this team could be going in their future and whether or not Rick Tocchet is actually going to stay. Irfan Ghaffar had this tweet earlier this morning after the Friedman comments. I'll say this about the Canucks and Tocchet. Vancouver knows exactly what he wants. in terms of money. The biggest thing in all of this is Quinn Hughes. The captain and the coach have an extremely good relationship, and we're not sure how a new coach, system, or a lack of plan would go over in that room. And so, I'm thinking about it like this. Canucks fans have been so fickle on Rick Tocchet, the public perception of Tocchet and the way he coaches this team and the systems that they have and how they're trying to reprogram Elias Pettersson's brain and all this other stuff. But ultimately, I think if a lot of Canucks fans were offered, hey, do you want to change the system? Do you want to change the way this team generates offense? Do you want to change the emphasis that this coaching staff puts onto certain aspects of the game? I think most Canucks fans would say, yeah, this 4 shots a period style hockey is not great. All this shutdown, defending, dump and chasing is not great. It lacks creativity. It lacks driving to the middle. It lacks any sort of east-west offensive capability. There's a lot of things that Rick Tocchet-styled hockey lacks. But I'm thinking here that the biggest, most underlying thing, the bold italics underlying part of this thought is Quinn Hughes. If Quinn Hughes wants Rick Tocchet to stay, you do whatever it is you gotta do to get that guy to stay. Seriously. I know one player, like in theory, it shouldn't be one player decides the decisions of the team, one person makes all the choices. Yeah, we can say that about Aquaman. We can say that about Francesco Aquilini, and I think it's absolutely correct. But if that person that wants Tocchet to stay and wants Pettersson to stay and wants this team to continue the way it has been, if that person is Quinn Hughes, you do it. Like, no questions about it. You do it. You do what needs to be done to keep that guy happy and keep that guy in this gosh darn city. Jim Rutherford said it best. Canucks want to have Quinn Hughes forever. That's the idea. You want to keep the best franchise player you've ever had. And I'm including Pavel Bure and Henrik Sedin in that conversation. I think Quinn Hughes is already, like, well on his way to being number 1. He's already the best defenseman. No holds barred. But you keep the best franchise-defining defenseman this team has ever had happy by bringing back the coach that he wants. But unfortunately, we're hearing now from Friedman that Tocchet has already apparently rejected a Canucks offer, so if the Canucks do let Tocchet leave, he ends up going to Philadelphia, and they end up getting whomever else in exchange. Maybe Torts comes back, who knows? What other options are there available on the free agent coaching market? I don't know. I think that's a conversation for another day. We could talk about replacements and whom else it is can step up here. Manny Malhotra is a name that I think a lot of Canucks fans have been buzzing about because of his work in the Abbotsford Canucks and, of course, his tenure as a former Vancouver player. Also, it'd be kind of easy to go from one bald dude to another bald dude behind the bench. But anyways, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Elliotte Friedman update on Rick Tocchet's contract situation with Vancouver. Seems like there was a rejected offer. Do you think this is surprising, and do you think it's the right thing, all things considered? Are you that against Rick Tocchet-styled hockey that you're more happy that Rick Tocchet doesn't want to necessarily come back at the dollar amount the Canucks offered him? Or are you thinking this is more dangerous and you would rather see Tocchet stick around? You want to see Quinn Hughes happy, or you actually do believe in the Rick Tocchet style and the hockey that he is able to present for this team? I mean, Frank Saravalli's always going out there and glazing the hell out of Rick Tocchet on Sportsnet 650. Oh, he's a top 5 coach in the league. If he does become a free agent coach, then 20-plus teams would line up to get this guy. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, but for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Rick Tocchet and his overall status as Vancouver Canucks head coach. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.